Hey, what is up, lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and let's talk about the Gacha revenue report. So this is something that I don't usually make a video on because I feel like sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's worth it, mainly because Love and Deep Space has consistently been at like the top 3 ranking for the past probably 6 months, 6 to 7 months already, and it is quite shocking. And of course, a lot of people use it as the stance of like, oh, men do sell and all of those things. But let's clarify a few things here before we start talking about this month's Gacha revenue report. You have to remember that the Gacha revenue report really just focuses on the iOS revenue for Love and Deep Space on mobile only. So this is mobile throughout the entire chart. It's not counting anybody who plays on PC, which most people actually do for open world gacha games like Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, and maybe even Honkai Star Rail to an extent. Most people play, I feel, gacha games on their computers, especially when they pull, because if you think about it, it's a bigger screen. Like if Love and Deep Space had their own PC client, I would most likely play on the PC because it's a fuller experience, kind of, as opposed to being chained to your phone. But this plays into the pockets of Love and Deep Space because it just shows that, people are spending more in LADs. So with that disclaimer being discussed, let's talk about the pretty much shocking reveal of the Gacha revenue report and what exactly the boycott really did. So if you guys don't know what the boycott is about, the boycott was happening during the beach banner, and everybody was saying, oh, we should boycott this banner because number one, KOD was falsely advertised. He came out and was immediately nerfed compared to his preview specs and all of those things, which is 100% justifiable. Not only were they boycotting for KOD, but some people were boycotting for Silas and Caleb content. Some people were boycotting because of the whole Zane VA situation and, the whole clarification needed on that. So there were many different reasons why people were boycotting for this particular period of time, where people were saying, oh, let's not spend on the first 3 days, let's hold off on that, let's not spend money until maybe like the last week or something. And a lot of people said that that wasn't going to do anything, that a true boycott means to stop playing completely, don't log in, don't do any of your dailies or anything like that, don't even pull on the banner. And while I do agree that that is technically a true boycott, there are other ways that the CN community has come up with to really affect where they stand in placement in rankings and all of those things. And if you were following previous videos of mine, I did show that Love and Deep Space dropped significantly on the charts, not only in the CN platforms, but also in the Google store. It dropped quite far, and it was very shocking to see. So I was very excited to see this Gacha revenue report for this month. And I was waiting until somebody was gonna, talk about it or even mention what the revenue has been, what it turned into, and all of these things. And the first place I went to go check was Reddit, and I checked the unofficial Reddit and the official one, because typically when Love and Deep Space ranks very high on the charts, which again they've consistently been doing, they like to show that off on the Reddit, and they're like, hey, Love and Deep Space ended up in 2nd place, it was in 3rd place, and all of these things. And I could not find a single post talking about the revenue chart, and I was kind of confused. I'm like, okay, is nobody talking about this? And of course I go over to Twitter and I see people who are posting about the revenue, but I only see very particular people talking about it. Most of them are, of course, Xavier Lovelies, who want justice for KOD, which I completely understand. And I was actually informed over on my Discord once again about the revenue changing. And this is what I want to show you guys first and foremost. Let's give some credit where credit is due. So this is the post that I have over on my Discord. I have a little forum here where people get to post different things, talking about different topics that they want me to take a look at and potentially make a video on. So this is by this particular user. I don't know if I should say your name since streamer mode kind of puts the ... next to it. I don't wanna out you for any particular reason, but this is the post, and when you click on it, this is what you see. So this is by Duchess T. The iOS revenue for Love and Deepspace on CN server in August has been released, showing a 44.33% drop compared to July, with its ranking in the mobile game charts falling from the 11th to 19th place. Now, mind you, Love and Deepspace in the mobile rankings over on CN has consistently been in the top 5, okay? For it to even drop into the double digits is a shocker. Source of the data is data, which I'm guessing is CN. Statistical period is from August 1st until August 31st. The original features are from iOS China server. Android revenue is by default estimation at 2 times iOS revenue. So again, another disclaimer here about the Gacha revenue stuff. iOS is the only one that really gives the revenue information. Android doesn't. That's more of a guess. So iOS CN server is about 208 million RMB. Mobile games ranking 19, revenue change was a 44.33% drop, and last month's revenue was 373 million RMB. This result is the strongest response from Xavier Stans and Harem's to the false advertisement of KOD weapon and the subsequent cold shoulder from Infold, because Infold never addressed the situation, no matter how many times people have talked about it, and there's even a lawsuit about it right now. Even with the Beach Multi bundled with the most number of monetized packs plus 3 promise rerun, our messages were loud and clear. So again, it is quite shocking that there was such a huge drop in revenue. Now let's go over to the Gacha revenue page, right? So this is the page for last month, and let's take a look at the numbers here. So this is Love and Deepspace right now. Last month for in total, right, it's 68,500,000, and it dropped down to 42 million for August, and that's a pretty large drop. Like, that's over $20 million that they lost. So this is CN, this is global, so this is us. So we also, we participated. we made an impact. And then we have JP, but you can see that from each and every region there was a drop, and that is quite shocking. Even in Korea, okay, there was a drop as well, which is very interesting to see. So there are a lot of fans out there who are very upset with Love and Deepspace, and it goes to show that yes, if we're upset enough about something, it will affect the company. Now, let's also address the previous boycott and how effective that was, because a lot of people like to... Oh, sorry, was I blocking? I was totally blocking all of the numbers. I'm so sorry. But like here, you can see these are the numbers. Let me take myself off the screen and then I'll open this. Sorry, but you can see like every single region had a drop. There was a certain percentage of it going down for Love and Deepspace. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about the previous boycott that the game had gone through. And if you don't remember when the previous boycott was, or if you're new to the game and you don't know about this, earlier this year, we had, of course, Catch 22. Catch 22 was probably one of the craziest times to be a Love and Deepspace player. Not only was this banner absolutely insane, insane. It was the first banner that they had introduced like multiple ending cards. It was the first banner that they monetized off of hair, like they separated the hair from the outfit, and a lot of people were upset about that. And that was actually the driving force for the boycott back then, with additional points of missing content from Silas, missing content from Caleb, and all of those different shenanigans that we've been talking about for the past almost a year now. So I went back and I wanted to know what the date was because I completely forgot, and that was in February 6th. That's when this video came out, that's when this banner was running, and that is when the previous quote-unquote boycott happened. So let's look at the revenue from February. Now we're looking at the revenue from February right now. I'm gonna take myself off of the screen again, and we can see that yes, there was a drop from January to February. Now January was the month Caleb was released. That was the month that we got his new myth. We also got anniversary things. A lot of things were definitely monetized in January, which was a huge month as a Love and Deepspace player. It's also the anniversary. And then we had February come rolling around, and we saw basically a drop in revenue from January into February because people started boycotting. They were like, why did you separate the hair from the outfit? It forces people to pull even more on a multi-banner, and it was during the time that they added a new love interest, so of course you have to pull even more. And so people were like, okay, they boycotted during that time, and some people on Twitter right now are saying, oh, the boycott's still not gonna do anything because the drop is basically the same amount as last time. Like this drop here from this month, from July until August, is the same number as January into February. And I was like, okay, we need to show the numbers. We need to show the actual numbers of how much the drop was. And it is a significant difference, guys. It is a huge difference, okay? I calculated how much it was dropped during Catch 22. We lost, or at least the company lost, this much, okay? And then I calculated the loss during the beach banner. It was literally this much. Can you see that? Can you see those numbers? How is that anywhere close to this? This is $21 million away from this one. That means the boycott now, the way more significant than Catch 22 boycott. It was, I was shocked, to be perfectly honest. I was shocked. When I did my own math, I was like, whoa, that's actually kind of crazy. So I am hoping that there is going to be some sort of significant change now in Love and Deepspace, that we're going to get some sort of, change. But we gotta wait and see. We have to wait and see. Also, one thing I do want to note, not that I don't support the boycott or any change happening in the game, but when you look at the revenue chart as a whole, and not counting Love and Deepspace, okay? There are so many games that are red. There are so many games that are in the red. And I'm just like, wow, was August just a really bad month for every gacha game? Like, look at Honkai Star Rail. 92 million dropping down to 28 million. I'm like, well, that is kind of insane. Genshin Impact almost half. Uma Musume pretty consistent, just dropping a million. But the other games, shocking. Anyway, that is all I kind of wanted to say about this topic. I think that the boycott definitely made a significant, a really big, significant message sent to the company. I do hope that they listen this time. I do hope that they're going to make some sort of change. But I mean, truthfully, 42 million is still pretty good. Like, 42 million is still a heck of a lot of money, if you ask me. But it is quite different from the 68 million point five that they got last month. So I don't know. I really do not know. And then thinking about what's gonna come out this month for September, I think it's gonna go down again because you have Zane's birthday, then you have Silas solo, and then you have Zane maybe at the end of the month for his myth. So it really depends on like the girlies who are gonna pull on Zane and Silas. But thinking about it, it might just drop again a little bit farther than this. I'm actually kind of curious now that we're here, because we are just here, right? So let's just go back. Let's go back to last year. Oh, we can't go back that far? Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. We can't go back any farther. Oh man. Poopy. Anyway, we can't go back farther than November, apparently. Oh, we're just so close. Just a year, guys. Anyway, that is pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about. The revenue did drop significantly, and I'm hoping that this is a clear message to Infold, because if you want to talk to a gacha company, you gotta talk to them with your money. And I think a lot of people were upset with the different, situations that are going around in the community right now. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing for all of us, because if the game gets better from here in terms of treating its players, or at least gives us some freebies because of this, thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm waiting until the next major update in the game. We haven't really got one for a while now, so I'm just hoping for like main story update or something like that coming up. And I think a lot of people are waiting for that, waiting for a spicy banner, waiting for, different myths to be released and all of those things. So it would be nice to also get like a heartfelt GIF soon, maybe, question mark, just to refill our diamond supplies. So that way we have enough to pull for different banners, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that is pretty much it. That is all I want to yap about for tonight. And, yeah. Alrighty, everybody, if you like this video, leave a like down below, and if you want to subscribe, I cover more information and nonsense about Love and Deepspace. I also have different ways for you to support the channel, so if you want to, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon, where I will be releasing all of my videos in one go in all of the batches. You can go over and subscribe to there. You can also subscribe here on YouTube to my memberships. And if you want to just do a one-time payment, one-time tip, that's over on Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi.com. And join our Discord server, guys. All of the links that I've talked about just now are in my bio. Alrighty, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye bye now.